I have news. I have news. I have news. I have news. I heard from my representative from the publisher last week, but didn't have a chance to do a live update because last week was completely bonkers. So it's been a long time since there was an update, because after my last update, I gave it a few more days, and then I emailed the lovely Holly to see if there was any news, thinking, well, kind of knowing if there was any news, she would have messaged me. And she hadn't messaged me, so I was assuming there was no news, and she confirmed that there was no news at that time. But that it was going to a meeting last week, and she would let me know as soon as there was news. And the news is it went to the meeting last week, and it's got through to the next round, which is just amazing. And I think the thing that was really lovely was Holly is so behind me, in as much as she really wants to get it through the next round. The next round is all about profit and loss, from what I can work out. I had to do a bit of Googling because there were some things in code in there, and looking at how they would market it, looking at who the audience would be, that sort of thing. So it's round to the next round. Holly's actually, I was on annual leave, she's now on annual leave, but hopefully by the end of this week, beginning of next week, there should be news as to whether they're going to take it through to the next round. I have to say, I haven't written any more since I submitted those first 5,000, well, it was 8,000 words in the end, I think, because I didn't want to write a massive amount. A, if they didn't like it, but B, I guess it's if they didn't like it. And as I've said before, if I'm going to publish it myself, I would probably write it slightly differently. So I haven't spent any more time writing it. I have interviewed a few more people and gathered a bit more information and research. And I've obviously been doing a lot of thinking about it. But yeah, that is the update. But the other really amazing thing, and actually I might even find it and read it to myself. Hang on, glasses. My eyesight has massively deteriorated recently, and I can no longer read my phone without my glasses on, which is slightly disappointing and stressful, but there we have it. Right, where is At Dyslexic Life of Jo Rees? Is here, book. So this is what she said. Well, she said that she would love to work with me, so she hope it goes through. She was taking it to the editorial meeting. I'm really going to try my best with this one, Jo, because I personally think it's brilliant. Your writing is very good. Now, I can't lie, the 14-year-old in me who loved English when they moved from primary to middle, but suddenly really struggled and then moved to high school and was written off by A-level English teachers, that little person inside of me really wanted a hug and was just so happy for the validation. And I know we shouldn't need validation, but I think when your story has been for such a long time that something you really loved, you've constantly been told you're not very good at, by somebody in the industry that kind of really knows her stuff, that gave me a really good big boost. And I have to say, it just made that kind of inner child, if you like, really, really happy, because I'm not doing a very good job of articulating this now, but I always loved writing from a really little kid. And funnily enough, I was looking at some books the other day, and I really should share them in lives or in shorts. But my mum had some examples of written work, and I was always writing stories, writing poems. I always really loved words. And it was the spelling, I guess, that became a bit of a problem, Matt, and understanding the grammar and the punctuation, because as dyslexics, as we can tell here, we don't always talk we don't always talk properly. We don't always talk in sentences, but obviously that's really exposed when it's written down. And it's things like the use of homophones can be, they can make us feel really small and really silly if we haven't got the right use of the homophone. And often we don't realise until it's pointed out to us in quite an embarrassing way that we've used the wrong word. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't really get my head around homophones and all the different types of homophones until I trained to become a teacher. And even now, I have to really think about it sometimes. And there was a situation the other day, I've just started dictating quite a lot more, actually. And there was a post on LinkedIn the other day, and I realised it put your instead of you are because I'd been sloppy with my speech and it hadn't picked up on that. And I'm then just mortified or really cross with myself because I know it, but I just haven't noticed it when I've proofread it because I'm thinking about the meaning of it. And then, as I say, I was written off by my A-level English teachers, really, and I really wanted to do English language, and my school didn't do English language. They only did English literature. But I've always been really interested in words and how they put together. And I know it's only blog posts, but I love writing blog posts, and I know that my blog posts are quite emotive. And my unpublished book, Don't Forget to Smile, which is my memoir, I've received so many messages from people saying, this is so beautifully put together. It's easy to read. You've definitely evoked emotion in me. Not long ago, I say not long ago, 2.5 years ago, nearly 3 now, I ran London Marathon, and I blogged my journey as I did that all through my training, raised a lot of money for charity and told the charity story, ran 1 mile of the 26 miles for different doctors, patients, and the writing that I'd done from that was really emotive and really kind of hooked people in. So I know I can do it. It's just believing that I can do it. But yeah, that validation was really very lovely. Anyway, that was really it. There's nothing more to update. Like I say, hopefully at the end of the week, there'll be a little bit more of an update on the book. But exciting times because potentially it's got to the next round. And if it goes through this round, I think that's actually a deal, but we were not going to get ahead of ourselves. I'm just really chuffed that it's got through this round, that Holly thinks the writing is really good. So I feel like there is hope. So I'm hanging on to that right now, I'm hanging on to that. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. And no doubt I will be back soon as I've got an update.